Welcome to Off Balance, the podcast where faith, family, and business collide. I'm Dr. Brooks, a certified master life coach, transformational speaker, and author. Join me as we explore the journey of overcoming adversity and developing resilience. It's time for you to find your strength and reclaim balance. This is Off Balance.
Welcome back to Off Balance, the podcast where faith, family, and business collide, and we get real about navigating it all with grace and grit. I'm your host, Dr. Brooks. Today, we will wrap up our series on the merit hiring plan with something deeper, a conversation about what it means to bring your faith and calling into a public square. If you've ever asked, can I really serve in government and stay true to who I am? Then this episode is for you. We've talked about what the merit hiring plan is. We walked through how to apply, but today we're asking, how do you show up once you're in? Because entering federal service isn't just about landing a job, it's about stewarding a mission. And so the first thing is to understand the landscape. Let's pull back the curtain for a moment. The merit transforms how candidates are matched to roles. So basically, this new approach is built on three core strategies: shared certificates and validated assessments. So, what does it actually mean? Pooled hiring. Instead of every federal agency posting separate job openings and conducting isolated hiring rounds, applicants are now entered into a shared talent pool. And these pools are organized by role or skill area and used by multiple agencies at once. That means when you apply for a job in a public service, you're not applying to just one agency. You could be considered by several at the same time. Then we have shared certificates. A certificate is the official list of qualified candidates that gets sent to the hiring manager. In the past, these were agency specific and job specific. Now, under this plan, agencies can share those certificates across departments. This creates more opportunity for applicants and eliminates the redundancy and screening. The final thing is validated assessments. These are carefully designed tests or tasks. Think structured interviews, writing samples, or skill based simulations that provide a much clearer picture of a candidate's real capabilities. It's no longer about who can talk the best game on paper, it's about who can demonstrate that they're ready to do the job. So, what's happening behind the scenes? One of the most significant and hopeful developments in the merit hiring plan is the shift towards a greater unity and coordination across the entire federal hiring landscape. Federal agencies are no longer operating in silos. Instead, they are aligning their efforts through a central talent team led by the Office of Personnel Management, which we call OPM. Think of OPM as the strategic hub, a guiding team ensuring the right people are found and placed in the right roles across government. Here's how the coordination plays out. The first thing is building and maintaining deep talent pools. So rather than starting from scratch every time a job opens, agencies are now contributing to pulling from shared talent pools, especially in high need areas like STEM fields where technical expertise is vital, veterans who bring mission driven discipline and real world experience. And then we have early career professionals who represent the next generation of principal public servants. These pools are curated and maintained year round, giving agencies faster access to strong candidates and giving applicants broader visibility for multiple roles. The second thing is using data and shared resources to match talent. Through smarter systems and real time analytics, agencies can now spot talent gaps and act quickly to fill them. This means your application isn't just landing on the desk, it's part of a larger picture. If your experience aligns with needs in multiple departments, the system will recognize that and position you accordingly. This creates efficiency for the agencies and increased opportunity for candidates, especially those with diverse cross functional experience. The third thing is leadership at the hiring table. This isn't just an HR operation anymore. The merit hiring plan requires agency leadership from department secretaries to chiefs of staff to be directly involved in hiring. They must approve when a new role is open. They must help determine which assessments will be used. They must participate in reviewing top candidates, and they must conduct executive level interviews to ensure values alignment. And so this will ensure that hiring decisions aren't just about skills, but about strategic mission fit. It also reflects a powerful truth that who we hire shapes who we become as a government. And why does this matter to you? Your application doesn't go into a void anymore. It's placed in a dynamic ecosystem where the right opportunity might find you. But this also raises the bar. With more visibility comes greater competition. That's why checking boxes isn't enough. So, how can you stand out? You need to stand out with authenticity. Tell your story clearly. Align your values with the mission. Demonstrate real skills and the heart behind the work. And remember, this isn't about chasing visibility. It's about showing up faithfully and trusting the right opportunity will recognize the calling and the competence you bring. So I want you to navigate faithfully in this shifting culture. The merit hiring plan is designed to end race, sex, and religion based preferential programs. It's centered on skill, merit, and a dedication to the Constitution. That can create new space, but also new tension. As people of faith, we must walk in both courage and humility. And here's how we're going to do that. Anchor your identity in Christ, not a job title. Lead with excellence. Let your work speak with clarity. Speak truth in love when culture challenges your convictions. Be wise as serpents, gentle as doves. This is not new advice. Federal service is not a mission field in the traditional sense, but make no mistake, you can be a light in this space. You can be a light and you can stand out. And here's how: be responsive and respectful in all communication. Tailor your resume and essays with clarity and intentionality. Prepare for assessments like interviews and written tasks. Show your alignment with the Constitution and the mission. And spiritually, stay grounded. Let your prayer life inform your preparation. Ask God not just for the job, but for discernment. Ask not just to be selected, but to be sent. We want to be sent, right? We want to show up and we want to be influential. We want to make an impact in the spaces that God has allowed us to be in. And so show up. Don't just ask to be selected, but be sent. That is powerful. I want you to marinate on that for a moment. Could you imagine if you're sent by God into a space? That means that you are going to be able to really make a difference and make an impact in that space. And so, as we are preparing for the hiring freeze to be lifted, now is the time to get your resume together. Now is the time to really, figure out what it is that you want and what your expectations are for the agency, for the supervisors. Like, start thinking about that. What do you want your future to look like, right? And so just start thinking about that. So if you're stepping into this new season of federal service, know this: you're not going alone. You are not going to be alone. God is with you in the quiet corners of policy meetings and the long forms and briefings, in the moments of integrity that no one sees. You are called not just to be competent, but to be consecrated. not just present, but faithful. I want you to step forward with peace. I want you to serve with excellence, and I want you to lead with grace. I think I should probably explain something. So, in this entire time, when I talk about your allegiance to the Constitution, you're probably like, why does she keep mentioning the Constitution? Because when you are a federal employee, you have to take an oath, and the civil oath, it kind of reads that way. So it's called the oath of office. And basically, all federal employees have to say it. The military also has to say it, the oath. And so basically, it starts with by saying, I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. I am not participating in any strike against the government of the United States or any agency thereof. I will not so participate while an employee of the government of the United States or any agency thereof. I have not, nor has any acting in my behalf, given, transferred, promised, or paid any consideration for or in expectation or hope of receiving assistance in securing this appointment. And so that is the oath of office. And so you have to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And so that's why I said things like show your alignment, with the Constitution and the mission. And one of the questions that you have to write an essay on is about that as well. And so that's why, we talked about the Constitution a lot. So I wanted to make sure that I explained that because I didn't explain it in part one or part two. So I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that in part three, why we keep talking about the Constitution, because as a federal employee, you will take an oath of office. And that oath of office, when you hold up your right hand and you say that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That is powerful, right? And that is something to be proud of. And so this whole, last couple of months of my federal career, it has been a little disheartening to hear the things that people say about federal employees, that they were lazy or that we, were wasting money, we wasn't being efficient. It was a little hurtful because I took that oath 15 years ago and I have been doing well. I treat every personnel action like it's my personnel action. And so I am very careful and I am just I'm very good at what I do. And so to hear the perception of what a lot of people think of federal employees, it was disheartening. But I think that as time goes on and as people see the importance of each agency, the importance of each position within those agencies and the people that fill those positions, I think that the reputation of federal agencies and the employees, it will get better. And so I have just been positive and I'm excited about what's to come. And so step forward with peace. I want you to serve with excellence and I want you to lead with grace. This has been our three-part series on the merit hiring plan. Make sure that you share this with someone, discerning their next step. And always, I want you to stay rooted, stay courageous, and stay just a little off balance, but in a good way. And if you know anyone that is considering federal employment or they, were federal, maybe they got laid off in the reduction in force, share this podcast with them. I have a couple of episodes that I'm going to really talk about federal stuff. And so just make sure you guys stay tuned and thank you again so much for listening.
Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to rate this episode and share it with your family and friends. To learn more about your host, visit brooksdemming.com. Until next time, be